I've traveled to Singapore, Japan, and South Korea, countries that are supposed to be the pinnacle of Asian development. Clean streets, efficient systems, first world everything. But Malaysia? Malaysia broke every assumption I had about progress, wealth, and what a country should prioritize. What I discovered there wasn't just surprising, it was something these other advanced nations are desperately trying to hide from their own citizens. I flew into Kuala Lumpur expecting another stop on the Developed Asia tour. Singapore has an $85,000 GDP per capita. Japan has centuries of cultural refinement. South Korea has the K-pop gloss and Samsung skyscrapers. Malaysia? $12,000 GDP per capita. On paper, it looks behind. But by day 3, I realized something shocking. The Malaysian people seemed happier, healthier, more connected. And I needed to know why. Today I'm breaking down 5 things Malaysia does that left me speechless, and why Singapore, Japan, and South Korea are quietly panicking. In Tokyo, I spent $47 on a single meal. A good meal, sure, impeccably plated sashimi, perfect rice. But it was eaten in polite silence, alone at a counter. In Seoul? $32 for Korean barbecue that was more about the Instagram story than the actual taste. In Singapore? Don't even ask. A hawker meal there now costs $6 to $8 USD, and locals complain it's too expensive. Then I landed in Penang. Meet Auntie Rose. She's 52 years old, and she's been running a char kway teow stall at a hawker center for 28 years. Every morning, she wakes up at 5 a.m. to source fresh prawns from the fisherman's wharf. She hand-pounds her chili paste. She walks every single plate over an open flame. Her price? $1.80. Her stall has a 45-minute wait time. Daily. I asked her, "Auntie, why so cheap? You could charge double." She laughed. "Then who will eat? My customers are my neighbors." Here's what shocked me. Malaysians spend only 20% of their income on food, compared to 28% in Singapore, yet their food quality is objectively higher in freshness and variety. The 2023 Economist Intelligence Unit Food Security Index ranks Malaysia 28th globally, ahead of South Korea at 33rd, despite Malaysia having 1/3 the GDP. Picture this. It's 7 a.m., and I'm watching uncles in tank tops argue passionately over which stall has better roti canai while monsoon rain hammers the zinc roof. The roti canai costs 60 cents. In Tokyo, a comparable breakfast? $18. Eaten alone. In silence. The food culture in Malaysia isn't just about affordability, it's about access, community, and the fact that good food isn't gate-kept by your salary. In Singapore, the average home costs 25 times the median annual salary. Let that sink in. 25 years of your entire salary, before taxes, before food, before existing, just to own 4 walls. In Tokyo, young people are living in 90-square-foot apartments that cost $800 per month. They call them rabbit hutches. So, families are going into debt for John's deposits, that's upfront rent, worth $500,000 US. $500,000 just to rent. Now let me tell you about Daniel Chen. Daniel is 29. He's a graphic designer who left Singapore in 2021. He was making $65,000 SGD a year, a decent salary. But he told me, I was making good money and still living paycheck to paycheck. I'd never own property. Never. The math just didn't work. So he moved to Kuala Lumpur. Now Daniel rents a 1,200-square-foot condo in Mont Kiara, one of KL's nicest neighborhoods, for $850 a month. He saves $1,800 a month compared to the $200 he was saving in Singapore. He said something that stuck with me, I can actually breathe here. I'm not just surviving, I'm building a life. The 2024 Demographia International Housing Affordability Report ranks Singapore as the #1 most unaffordable city in the world, with a median multiple of 10.9. Malaysia? It's rated moderately affordable with a 3.8 multiple. Here's the kicker, Malaysians in their 20s and 30s are buying homes. Not taking 40-year mortgages that chain them to a desk forever, they're actually buying homes. Now Japan will tell you, Our homes are cheaper in rural areas. Sure. If you want to live 4 hours from any job opportunity in a town where the average age is 68. South Korea's annual work hours? 1,915. That's the third highest in the developed world. Japan's karoshi cases, that's literally death by overwork, hit 936 in 2022. Nearly 1,000 people worked themselves to death. Singapore's productivity guilt culture? It's priceless. If you leave the office before 7 p.m., you're not committed. Now picture this. I'm sitting in a Mamak stall, that's a 24-hour open-air restaurant, at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. It's packed. Families with kids. Couples on dates. Random uncles playing chess and arguing about football. Nobody's in a rush. Nobody's staring at a laptop pretending to hustle. Meet Priya Sapaya. She's 34, a marketing manager working in Cyberjaya, Malaysia's tech hub. Before this, she worked in Singapore's central business district for 6 years. She told me, I was logging 65-hour weeks. I ate dinner at my desk. I couldn't remember the last time I saw my nieces grow up. But she works 45 hours a week and leaves the office at 6 p.m. sharp. Her Singaporean friends think she's wasting her career. She thinks they're wasting their lives. The Malaysian labor force survey from 2023 shows the average workweek is 42.8 hours, compared to Singapore's 46.4. That might not sound like much, but over a year, that's 187 extra hours, nearly a full month of your life. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Malaysia isn't behind. They're choosing differently, and their mental health stats prove it. The WHO's 2023 Mental Health Atlas shows Malaysia's depression rates at 2.3%, compared to Japan's 7.5% and South Korea's staggering 9.1%. If you've ever felt like success means sacrificing your health, your family, your actual life, Malaysia is proof that's propaganda. Singapore loves to brag about being multicultural. And sure, they are, on paper. Chinese, Malay, Indian, Eurasian. All the boxes checked. But here's the thing, it's curated, controlled. Everyone stays in their lane. Malaysia's diversity? It's chaotic, messy, and it's giving them an edge nobody saw coming. Walk through Kuala Lumpur. Hindu temple. Then a Chinese shophouse selling offerings. Then a mosque broadcasting the call to prayer. Then a Buddhist shrine with incense smoke curling into the sky. All within 400 meters. This isn't a tourist attraction. This is Tuesday. The average Malaysian speaks 3 or more languages fluently, Malay, English, and either Chinese or Tamil depending on their background. Singapore claims to be multilingual, but the average Singaporean speaks 2.1 languages. Meet Raj Kumar. He's 41 and runs a tech startup in Kuala Lumpur. His company builds SaaS tools for businesses across ASEAN and the Middle East. He told me, I can pitch to Indonesian Muslims in Malay, Singapore VCs in English, and Chinese investors in Mandarin, same day. This isn't special here. It's normal. His company? Bootstrapped. Valued at $12 million. The 2023 Economist Intelligence Unit Innovation Index ranks Malaysia 33rd globally, way ahead of where you'd expect for a country with its GDP. Malaysia's messiness is actually a superpower. While Singapore builds invisible walls between races, Malaysia's young generation is mixing them together. Now, let me be clear, Malaysia has racial tension. It has affirmative action policies that are controversial. It's not perfect, but at least it's honest about it. And the young people? They're building bridges their governments won't. Here's what GDP won't tell you. Singapore is rich, but Singaporeans are stressed. Japan is refined, but Japanese people are lonely. South Korea is innovative, but Koreans are exhausted. Malaysia is developing, but Malaysians are living. I realized this on my last night in Penang. Remember Auntie Rose? The Char Kwai Teo lady from earlier? She invited me to her daughter's wedding. I showed up thinking it would be a small thing. Maybe 50 people. There were 800 guests. It was an open invitation to the whole neighborhood. Chinese bride. Malay groom. Indian best man. The aunties were arguing about whose rendang was better. Kids were running around barefoot. Strangers were taking selfies together. The whole thing cost $8,000. In Singapore, the average wedding costs $50,000. I asked Auntie Rose, how do you invite so many people? She said, why make weddings so expensive nobody can enjoy? We want people, not Instagrammers. I watched strangers become family in one night. I saw wealth that doesn't show up in bank accounts. The OECD Better Life Index for 2024 scores Malaysia at 6.1 out of 10 on community, compared to Singapore's 4.3 and Japan's 4.9. And here's the science. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies on happiness, spanning over 85 years, found that social connection is the #1 predictor of happiness and longevity. Not wealth. Not status. Connection. If you've been chasing promotions, thinking that success, Malaysia will make you question everything. Now, am I saying Malaysia is perfect? Absolutely not. Corruption is real. Infrastructure has gaps. Political drama is constant. But somehow, the people found a way to be happy anyway. That's not backwardness. That's wisdom. Singapore taught me efficiency. Japan taught me discipline. South Korea taught me ambition. But Malaysia? Malaysia taught me what all of that is supposed to be for. The question isn't, which country is most developed? It's, which country would you actually want to live in? So here's what I want to know. Would you take a 50% pay cut if it meant eating incredible food, owning a home, actually seeing your kids grow up, and being part of a real community? Or is that just settling to you? Tell me in the comments. Because half of you will say I'm romanticizing poverty, and half will say I've finally seen the truth. I want to hear both sides. And if you've actually lived in any of these countries, Singapore, Japan, Korea, or Malaysia, drop your experience below. Let's settle this once and for all.